Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the Very Reasonable Pilots podcast. I'm your host, Charles Long, and with me as always, my co-host, editor, producer, co-pilot, gunner, navigator, and podcasting associate, Jacob Gloth. We are here today to pitch a brand new televisual series.
Whoa.
What?
You didn't ask me how I'm doing today?
Yeah.
That was weird. Okay. Jeez. All right. Well,
I already know how
whatever.
You're doing today,
No, it's
Jake.
whatever. It's okay. It's whatever. I don't care.
You're bad. You're doing bad. I know it.
Poorly.
The audience knows it now. I just didn't want to bring it up.
Okay. Well, you could have asked. It sometimes doesn't hurt to ask.
All right. How's it going?
It's too late now. You already missed your chance.
Fair enough. We're going to pitch a brand new TV series today. Off the Bloody Dome, because this is episode 140, and that's what we do every 10 episodes, is we just come up with a show off the head of our brains. We just do that.
He was going to say dome again, but he froze up.
I was going to say dome again, and I was like, I just said dome. I'm going to come up with something else to say. Off the heads of our brains.
Okay. Well, today we have to pitch a brand new TV show, which we do every week, but this time we didn't have any preparation at all because that's the way the 10th episode works.
Yeah.
And, well, here we are without an idea. Sitting,
what are
talking,
we going to do?
Contemplating, maybe going to waste time.
My usual go-to activity when on the 10th episode is just to look around my desk and kind of build an idea based off what's on my desk. So
yeah, see, that's a shit idea. So anyway, we've last time out, right?
Yeah.
You pitched a sci-fi show, and before that I pitched a history show, and before that we pitched a superhero show. We've really boxed ourselves into a corner here.
Yeah.
Because sci-fi's out, superheroes are out, history's out.
Yeah.
What else? Should we do like a show about today? A present show? We haven't done one of those in a while.
We haven't done a modern day classic, just genuine TV show in a while, right? We haven't done any of those. Maybe, because that's not really our wheelhouse typically.
Boring.
We could do what if we do a modern day
period piece?
Yeah, we could do a period. Well, that's history. What if we did a modern day?
See, with that my history was what's it called? Like Roman Republic. That's ancient history.
Yeah.
I feel like 1850 to today is within our wheelhouse.
Okay. What if we did a 1920s gangster show?
1920s gangster show.
Yeah.
I feel like noir kind of hit that with the superhero show.
Yeah.
But
you're right. But I like the flappers and all the 20s stuff. What if we did it on jazz? What if we did like a historical drama about...
Charlie, do you know enough about jazz to pitch this show?
No. Not at all.
Then what are we doing? We can't do that.
Yeah, we can. We can make up a jazz person. We can imagine a jazz man and just have his adventures through the roaring 20s.
What if we did a show during, like, Musket era,
All right, 1770
like sometime
somethings.
between, like 1800s, like
Okay.
Napoleonic times.
Okay. Yeah, I'm here for Musket era.
I like late Musket era, because then we can people know what they're doing now with the muskets.
There are a few revolvers,
cannons.
but they're really expensive and hard to make, so most people just use muskets. Yeah, we got the flintlock pistols. People still have swords. Blunderbusses.
Swords are cool,
I love a blunderbuss.
It's one of the coolest eras, I think, in warfare, because you got people just lined up shooting each other, and then you still got cavalry that just somehow wins in the end because they charge through the musket fire and kill everyone.
Yeah, with big horses, and muskets are shit, so they probably bounce off the horses. That's not true.
That's not true at all. They fucking rip apart the horses.
That was really bad. It was really, really bad back in the day in history times.
Well, except, like in, Napoleonic warfare. Well, not as much in Napoleonic warfare, but, like, you don't really have that many dudes out there, so there's not going to be that much that many casualties.
Yeah, and they didn't...
people die, not that many people die.
And they didn't care about the fucking horses dying. That wasn't a big deal to them.
Oh, there's a lot of horses.
They don't really care about horses dying now, either, so... We haven't really changed.
People care about horses dying.
People care about
I don't know why you're getting on this horse thing. Like, you're trying to say, like, nobody gave a shit about horses. Do you give a shit about horses? Probably not.
No.
You're a liar if you do.
I don't care about horses.
So let's move on.
They're gross animals.
Charlie thinks all horses should die.
I would love to eat a horse, though. I know the meat would be bad and stringy and gross. I still want to try it. It's like how I want to try dog. I wonder if a wild horse tastes different than us.
So Napoleonic era, that's one idea. What were you saying before I tossed that in there?
Well, Napoleonic era, maybe we could do pirates. I like that.
I think we've done pirates before.
We have done pirates before, but pirates are so cool. What if we did what if we did a comedy, right, about pirates? A bunch of gay pirates, because pirates were some of the first, modern people to be like cool with gay marriage. So what if?
Yeah, well, that's not true.
Yeah, they had gay marriage.
The ancient Greeks were totally cool with being gay.
That's why I said modern people.
Are you saying that the first people of Western civilization are modern people? What is modern people? Do you think pirates are modern people? That's not true.
Like post.
You throw a term like that. Ancient Greece is about as modern as pirates.
That's not true.
And saying that neither are modern people.
I would say 1600s onwards. That's pretty modern.
All right.
After the invention of shoelaces.
Right.
It's pretty modern.
Okay, so if anyone has shoelaces, they're modern.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes, that is what I'm saying. And I stand by it.
Well, you're an idiot then.
That may be true. But I feel some historians would back me up here.
Nobody would, because you're an idiot.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm not really feeling that.
No
setting.
Pirates. All right, musket era.
Pirates. We've done it before.
Yeah.
Overplayed. Pirates of the Caribbean. There's so many movies about pirates.
There are a lot of movies about pirates, and most of them are bad. So Napoleonic era, musket era, war situation. Maybe we do
Well, we don't have to do that. I'm just spitballing here. Do we want to do something funny? What are you feeling like? You feeling funny?
I think we can have an irreverent character, but I don't think that the show. I don't think we should do a comedy. Maybe we should do a comedy.
You don't want to do comedy?
I was thinking.
Comedy.
I was thinking that you got me thinking about. There's a comic book, right, called Baltimore. It's about Lord Henry Baltimore, and it's set in an alternative universe in which there's during World War I ends when monsters start taking over the world and destroying stuff, and so everybody has to fight monsters with all old World War I weapons, and it's pretty cool. So what if we did a sort of apocalypse situation? But it's the Napoleonic era, and everybody's got muskets and swords and cannons and stuff. And there's maybe it's aliens. That could be cool.
Okay, so at the Battle of Waterloo, aliens land in the middle of the field.
And they start fucking everybody up.
And here's what I was gonna say. They thought that this would be the perfect place to, introduce themselves to humanity.
Yeah.
Because they've got all these great powers in the same place at the same time. But obviously, since they're in the middle of the battlefield, the French, the Prussians, and the English absolutely fuck up the aliens.
Yeah, lots of cannons.
Because there's cannons set up on all
stuff.
sides, and they just rip them to pieces. Mm-hmm. And that's what starts the alien invasion.
That could make sense. Yeah, that's a good.
And so now we have these aliens invading, but we have these roaming bands of 18 or 19th century armies running around, all these Napoleon has got a force, he's got what's it called, a war band, they're they don't have a country anymore because there's an invasion, but there's Napoleon's army just wanders around and takes out aliens and
it takes over towns
warlords,
and that sort of thing. Yeah.
And we could follow a couple characters that are part of one of these that are switching between these different war bands and this.
What if we follow a French soldier who gets separated from his war band? He's left behind because they think he's dead. That sort of thing. But he's able to escape from the burning wreckage of whatever, transportation thing he was in. and he and an English soldier, take refuge from the battle in like an abandoned cottage.
Oh, I like that because they sort of hate each other.
Yeah, but they need each other to survive because both of them are injured in some way. So maybe the English soldier's like arm is in a sling. He's like got a broken arm, so he can't do a lot of the hand stuff. And then the French soldier, maybe one of his legs is all fucked up, or maybe even lost one of his legs. Like he's got a peg, right? So they both kind of need each other to survive. And then, that could be like episode 1 is these two dudes, they find each other and they're like, we hate each other, but also we need each other. And they start,
Okay. Yeah.
working together.
We could have it. Here's how we do that. First episode's the Battle of Waterloo when this all happens, right? Mm-hmm. I think it'd be so funny if we had a huge budget for the show. We did like a really awesome recreation of the Battle of Waterloo.
Like we got a bunch
of
historians.
And then the aliens drop in. Yeah. Now, in the Battle of Waterloo, there's these... it's centered around these farmhouses, and the British have control of them. So what we could do is that the aliens drop down, and then like how the fighting kicks off. And the French are obviously, they're fighting the aliens, but they're also fighting the English. It's a big, like, three-way battle.
Yeah.
And so we have our French soldier in this. He storms with his battalion one of the farmhouses. And, like, the British soldier is part of the battalion that's holding it. And the fire, ignites. And they both get trapped in, like, a room as everything's burning. And they have to work together to get out. Mm-hmm. And by the time they get out... the battle is just like, mostly over. There's dead aliens on the field. Like everyone's gone or routed or left, and they're just sort of in this like dead field. Maybe and that's like the whole episode is the battle, right?
Yeah.
And when they get out, that's the end of the episode when they get out into the field and they see all the dead around them.
Real bad.
That's like boom, ending.
Boom, ending.
That'd be cool.
That would be a cool episode 1. Then, episode...
What's our French and English soldiers' names?
All right, French.
We have Pierre. That's
Pierre. And English guy will be named George.
George. Pierre and George.
Pierre and George. And then at the end of the series, we reveal his last name is Orwell. And he's actually George Orwell.
Oh my
and he receives alien technology that lets him live for way longer than a normal human should be able to be alive, and so
Isn't George Orwell's real name not actually George Orwell?
No, it's something else. That's his like writer name.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, we'll just call it.
He didn't want to get in trouble.
We'll call him George. George and Pierre.
Pierre.
Yeah.
Anyway, so George and Pierre, they are the two main. Maybe there's a bit of a language barrier at first, right? But it's revealed that the French character does know English. He just doesn't like speaking English.
Yeah.
Because he thinks it's a dirty language.
Dirty language. It's gross. He doesn't like it. He's not a fan. But then...
At the end of the episode, like, they'll come out and Pierre will be like, fucking shit. And then George will turn and be like, wait, you can speak English? You could have spoke English this whole time? And he's like, yeah, I speak English. I just fucking hate the English.
It's fucking filthy.
It's like, oh, cool.
Yeah, and then one of his arcs...
Oh, okay, here's an idea. George shouldn't be English. He should be Scottish, because they had, what are they called? The Highlander units.
Yeah, the Highland units.
In the British Army, they had like a name for them, like the something guard. It's really killing me right now.
I'm looking it up.
You talk while I look it up.
Okay, you're looking it up. Yeah, that would be cool. And he's wearing a kilt. Wearing a battle kilt. He's got a big sword and a big old, maybe keeps a flintlock pistol.
The Scots Greys. The Royal Scots Greys. That's what he should be.
Maybe he keeps a pistol
so
on his inner thigh.
Like older Scottish guy, right? Mm-hmm. And the other dude, or maybe he's not too old. He's like, he's old for their time, so probably like
he's like 40.
Late 20s, early 30s.
Yeah.
Right. And then the French guy, we'll say he's part of Napoleon's old guard, which is like the people that have been with him for most of his career. Mm-hmm. So he's also about that age.
Yeah.
So we got two kind of veteran soldiers, as you would see at the Battle of Waterloo, that are making up the beginning of our little group here.
Yeah, that's good. I like it. If he's Scottish, maybe he should have a different name.
Yeah, I can't think of a name right now. Let me look up famous Napoleonic Scottish names.
I just googled Scottish names. Cameron Angus. I like Angus. Duncan. I think Duncan. That'd be good. It's kind of a good,
Dunk.
ring to it. Dunk. Hey, yo, Dunk. And then we could have a brash American show up at some point in the show, and he's just like a big city New York like war reporter, and he was separated from the press people, and he's just like a total coward and scared of his mind, and he needs to rely on these two to protect him, and then they have somebody they both dislike, because nobody likes America.
Wait. So we want to American be there that everyone hates?
Yeah.
Okay, I like that, but I think we should... at the same time, I was thinking that we should have a American, an Englishman, a Scotsman, an Irishman, and a Frenchman, and they all hate the Englishman.
Yeah, that's good. I like that a lot. They all hate the Englishman for vastly different reasons, but they all hate him.
Yeah. Okay, so... Oh, yeah, I'm liking this. All right, so we got our two,
main
initial characters.
Yeah, our two main.
Are Mr. Pierre and Dunk.
Duncan.
Like, just Dunk,
Dunk.
Reminds me of Dunk and Egg from Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
The side book.
Dunk.
Anyway, Dunk and Pierre, they've got to do something after this. So we've got aliens exist now.
Mm-hmm. They're fucking everybody up.
Maybe we should limit them in some way.
Yeah, maybe that...
I think sci-fi weapons is a little much, so what if the aliens, like, they have ships and stuff and they can invade, but they never really made guns, right? Mm-hmm. Like, they just made genetic, like, monsters.
Yeah, that's good.
So wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah, so they
just have, like...
Their weapons are all part of their physiology, or they have, like, bands of, like, war dogs, but they're, like, weird, crazy alien dogs, Yeah,
so, like, they don't... Nothing that they do is, like, kinetic. They don't have any... they don't have guns in their arms. They have, like they'll shoot bile out of their mouths or something.
Yeah.
Or they'll have, like they have different things you'd see in nature, like, maybe, like, Venus flytrap, like, hands that, like, clap down on you and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but there's
so we could have, like, really cool, like... A monster's charging, like, a firing line. They're like, fire, and then they're like, reloading, quick, all right, fire again.
Do it, let's go. It's just as fast as you can. Who cares?
Or, like, we'd have a cool scene where, like, a monster's chasing a dude through, like, a house, and he's, like, running like crazy, and he, like, pops into a room and next to a can, and he lights it just as the monster comes in and shoots it in the face.
Oh, that'd be great. We could have a situation where, like, our main characters are running through the Siberian wilderness. For whatever reason, it's just like, oh shit, this monster's totally gonna kill them and rip their faces off, and just as they think that they're cornered, a grizzly bear just shows up out of nowhere and rips it in half. Because grizzly bears are fucking crazy. They're a horrible monster animals. So it's just like...
Yeah, we could have a Russian character that, like the grizzly bear is gonna attack them afterwards, but then the Russian character just, like, puts his hand up, and the grizzly bear's like, oh yes, Russians, they're with us,
I get it.
Russian people and the bear are the same.
We are the same, you and I. Here is a tricycle.
Maybe he starts doing that, and the people are like our other characters are like, oh my god, they can control bears, and the bear rips his face off, and they all have to run away.
And they all run away, and the bear's just too busy eating.
Like, munching on him,
Yeah, because the bear's just hungry, and he tries to eat the alien, but the alien tastes so weird and gross because it's made out of alien stuff. And so they're like, fuck that, I'm just gonna eat this dude. And then it does.
Dude, yeah, it tastes way better. Okay, so we've got we still only have our first two characters. We have to figure out how we get the rest of them, right? So, what's rational here? Like, these two characters, they're all alone at the Battle of Waterloo. They're together now. They're both injured, so I guess they need help, right? So we need them to, I guess they're thinking they're in France. They probably want to go to, like, a coastal town, right, to try to get some help.
Yeah, Pierre knows of a town that isn't... It's far, but it's not so far that they won't be able to make it. and like he used to date a girl who was from this town, right? That'll be the explanation. And so they begin walking, or hopping, whatever the walking situation is, and they like go through the battlefield, and they like take weapons off of the dead, and they take coats and stuff to stay warm. And it could be a fun little montage of them making their way to this town, and they like hide in the brush because there's an English army like patrol that goes by, and then they hide in the brush again because there's a fucking alien army patrol that goes by, and it's just like
we have an English soldier or a Scottish soldier who's part of the army, so maybe it's just the what's it called? Maybe it's just the
war bands. They'll kill
alien.
anyone.
Yeah, but see, we don't know that at this point. We're just at the battle just happened, right?
You're right.
These people just need medical help. So we just need the aliens to walk by maybe, and they're hiding. They're like, what the hell is going on here? This is crazy.
The fuck is that thing?
That they should get to the town, and the town has already been taken over by like a warlord,
Yeah.
It's like chaos is full on reigning now. We'll say it's because the Prussians were involved in the battle, so like a Prussian lieutenant and his like squadron, after the Battle of Waterloo, like came to this town, they took it over.
Yeah.
Right?
And they're in the town hall, like eating and drinking, and
we'll call him
doing all that
Friedrich.
stuff.
Friedrich.
Yeah, Friedrich. I like that.
Friedrich. He's taken over the town, and he's full on piece of shit, right? And they get there, and they have to try to like get help slyly, right? And they're gonna get caught by this Prussian dude who probably would just shoot them both, right? And we need someone to help them. So I'm thinking we add another person here.
Maybe they get
the person that helps them. Probably a woman, because we're lacking in diversity.
We
here.
are. It's just a bunch of dudes right now. Can it be an American woman doctor? Did they let women be doctors back then? Let's just say she's a nurse for the sake of historical accuracy.
So we got like a battlefield nurse who's like in the town, and she helps them decide. And so she's actually American, but she's been living in France for a long time, so she speaks French and English.
Yeah, she does the accent well, but she can switch to English to talk to the Scottish guy, and he's like, "You're an American." And they're like, "Goddamn right. God bless America, 1776."
Yep, that's exactly how she is.
That's how Americans talk.
And so she helps them get some medical help, and then enlist them to help her like little resistance movement to take out Friedrich,
the warlord,
dictator warlord of this town.
Yeah. So they begin like constructing some sort of like guerrilla warfare tactics, like the Punji pits they had in Vietnam, where they had a big pit of spikes. They do a bunch of shit like that all over the town, turn into like a booby trap laden, at least some section of it. And then Duncan and Pierre go in, and they steal something from Friedrich, and he's such a vain, prick that he's like, they know that he'll chase them, and so they bait him to chase them into the section of the town that they booby trapped, and that just fucks up all his soldiers and his men and stuff.
Yeah, and then they have like a big fight. And I was thinking the fight ends, they beat Friedrich, and that's when the monsters invade.
I was going to say, the monsters.
So maybe in the beginning of the episode, we see them like repel monsters, right? Friedrich and his men. And so at the end, the monsters invade, and like these guys can't really hold it off. And so we kind of get to see that despite the fact that these were dictators and these war band people, these warlords are...
they're bad, but they're still necessary.
Bad, like they are kind of necessary because they need some sort of military force to hold off the monsters, these aliens.
Maybe the town will get decimated. Only a handful of people will survive, and Duncan, Pierre, and the American person, let's call her Sally Mae. I'm a Southern Belle, Sally Mae. She's from Louisiana.
Sally Mae's her name, but we'll call her Sally because it's short.
Yeah, that's way easier. Sally, they all decide, we're gonna lead these people to a more fortified town nearby, and that's how the episode ends, with them leading this, this conga line of really sad, fucked up French villagers to, a local
somewhere
else that hasn't been taken over by
maybe
aliens.
they're going to Paris.
I was gonna say
cool.
maybe Paris, but depended on how we wanted to. I don't know. Full disclosure.
See, maybe we got to go somewhere else so that we can get another character that isn't French.
Yeah.
Maybe maybe they're like, well. Okay, they're like, there's so many monsters here, so we have to go across the English Channel to England and see if we can,
What's that one town that's
find something?
It's a famous movie town battle. There was a battle there.
Talking about Dunkirk?
Dunkirk. Maybe they went to Dunkirk because that's a. I don't know how far away that is from the Battle of.
Okay, we could have like a Dunkirk episode where they get there and there's like the English armies there. Mm-hmm. And they're holding off the monsters, and they're getting people across the ferry. And Pierre has to, reluctantly helps a little bit, even though he doesn't want to, because he's like, fuck the English.
He has to do his best English accent. And it's really terrible.
So he's fighting along with them, but he's just going like, Vive l'Empereur, they're fine with him joining because they're fighting monsters now. But, he's all about Napoleon.
Yeah. And maybe he starts the episode off by he just does every stereotype of an English person to try and fit in. And they're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What the fuck you on about, mate? And he's
but then once the fighting kicks off, he's just,
he's full
blatantly
on.
French.
He's lighting cigarettes all over the place. He's wearing berets, more than one, at the same time.
Yeah.
Crunching on a baguette. He's doing all of it. Smelly cheeses. He doesn't care. And then...
Does not care.
But then, as the battle progresses and the civilians get on the boats and sail back to England, they're like, this isn't gonna end well. So Duncan, Pierre, and Sally, they escape again.
They get on the boat.
They get on a boat. Maybe a noble English general or captain, whatever, is like, you guys helped us when you didn't need to. You could have easily, just left or joined the civilians, but you decided to stay and fight. I respect that. And he's like, get on the boat. My men and I are condemned to death, but you still have a chance. And he pushes him on the boat. And that's when Pierre gets his first kind of tinge that's like, maybe some English people aren't horrible all the time. And then we get next episode, we introduce the English character, and he's just the worst. He's the most pretentious, typical, stereotypical English guy of all time. He always brags about how he's almost vaguely related to the monarchy. Sipping tea, eating crumpets. He's got a big pocket watch and a bowler hat and 16 vests on, and they've all got a bunch of buttons. He's the whole thing. And Pierre's like, no, they're all horrible. That guy was just an anomaly. Maybe he was part French.
Okay, so they're now in England, right?
Yeah. And
they think it's gonna be better when they get there, but it's just as bad.
It's so bad,
right? Mm-hmm. It's terrible. We get to London, and we get some cool like Victorian cityscape overrun with monster sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It looks cool.
Some tentacles coming out of Big Ben, and they pop out the face of the clock, and a face of a monster is revealed, and it's cool.
We could have some cool street fighting here.
Some Peaky Blinder guys.
Okay, yeah, we could have some Peaky Blinder guys.
Peaky Blinder guys fighting aliens, and they're just like, oh, you better watch out, mate. And they get ripped in half by a giant dog.
So this is where we got to get the English character from here, right? Mm-hmm. So, we need a reason for them to be able to hang out with this person. So maybe this English character is a very minor lord or something.
Yeah, I would say that
call him Lord
Farquaad.
Yeah, that's exactly.
No, we get Lord Henry Billingsley.
Lord Billingsley, I like that.
Yeah, I think I might have stolen that from Pride and Prejudice, but who gives a shit?
Lord Billiards. Billibards.
Billabirds. I like Billabirds.
Lord Bilberts.
and-
You know, something that's obviously not an English last name, but, you know, who cares?
Who cares?
It's something, it's supposed to be, like, satiric.
There's also no aliens, so, like, who cares?
Yeah, that too. So Lord Bilberts, he's got, like, a estate just outside the city, and he's got a couple of soldiers, right?
Yeah.
And so they stay with Lord Bilberts, and,
Maybe they find him cowering inside of, like, an old, you know, building that's been overrun with aliens, and they're able to, like, fend off the aliens, and they find him, and he's like, "I'll get you, you guys can stay with me," and so they escort him to his estate, and it's this huge, like, you know, obvious, like, mansion. You know, have you ever seen Crimson Peak, that Guillermo del Toro movie with Tom Hiddleston?
no.
Well, it's pretty good. And there's like this huge mansion estate that's like super decrepit, but also like gorgeous, and it's on top of this like big hill in the middle of the moors. And so maybe that's where he goes. They go there, and they find this, you know, estate that is falling into disrepair, but it still has a few loyal soldiers who are willing to defend it because they were loyal to Bilbert's father, who was a great general and a great man, by all accounts. And Bilbert's just kind of this like nepotism baby.
He's all right.
You know, he's a total coward and all this stuff. And they're just like, okay, I guess I've dedicated my life to this.
But he still has like a little bit of like blue blood. You know, he's still got that little bit of royalty, which I feel like is the reason our group's going to keep him around, because that still matters in this post-apocalyptic world.
I hadn't thought about that.
So he can still use that to like get them passage with like other war bands and stuff like that. You know,
because he'll have all of the royal documents like around with him at all times. Maybe he has this like tiny little like rectangle of paper he pulls out of his jacket pocket, and he unfolds it to this like enormous poster that's a family tree. And
he's very loosely connected to the royals, but every episode he gets closer and closer to becoming king.
Yeah, exactly.
Because more people die.
Because they're all dying, and he's like, oh, okay. And that's how it could end.
I think it'd be really funny. We're like, you know, episode 10, he's like Xing out people on the family tree, and he's like, shit, I'm only like 6 away from the throne now. I was like 50th in line.
Jesus.
From the start, because they're like, you know, past the war band, they'd be like, oh my god, they just killed the Duke of, you know,
Orange.
York.
Yeah, of York.
And they're like, oh shit, damn, he was like, you know, 15th in line.
Yeah. Huh.
That'd be funny if like really late in this show, like, you know, if we had multiple seasons, this dude becomes king, and like, because he's king now, and that still matters, he inherits like this massive army.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And then, you know, he begins like the war on these aliens, but he's just terrible. He's terrible at being a general or anything like that. He just, you know, he wants to lay about in his fineries with this big fancy velvet and his big long cloaks and his fancy desserts, his Turkish delights. And everyone's just like, this guy sucks. And that's when Duncan takes up the leadership position with Pierre as his minister of war. But that would be like season like 3.
Yeah, that's really late in the show.
Yeah.
Back to where we are, right? They're at this estate. I think a funny way to get us out of here is, instead of having like, you know, the monsters invade, we do another situation where people invade and then the monsters come in, right?
Yeah.
We make this a recurring thing. And the people that invade are Irish nationals who see their chance. Right?
Yeah.
They're like, oh shit, we got a chance here to break away from England. They like they're like, yeah, we don't care about the aliens. We fuck the English.
The English
And
are
so
aliens to us.
They're going around and they're trying to kill all like the candidates for the English king.
Yeah.
For the monarch. And that's why they're going up to destroy this lord's house.
Yeah.
And so there's like a couple, you know, guerrilla Irish soldiers, probably like 5 or 6 of them, and they're like taking out all of what is his name, Bilbert's
men, because Bilbert's men are like they haven't been fed properly. They haven't seen a fight in years. They've just been like standing guard, and they've eaten like tack and dirty water, and that's it. And so they're like,
and so like they'll like surround our people in a room, and like, you know, they'll like pop in. You know, we got like 6 Irish soldiers in the room with our main characters and Lord Bilderberg's, like all pointing guns at them, like having them against the wall and like, you know, yelling at them and stuff. And like our characters are like, oh my god, like you know, like he's Scottish, I'm French, she's American, like we're not a part of this. Can we just leave? And that's when the monsters attack and like the house burns down.
Maybe the house...
They run out and most of the Irish soldiers dies except for one who joins the group.
Yeah, maybe the bottom
Another lady,
of the house
her name's...
Siobhan. I always like the name Siobhan. Spelled with a S.
Siobhan, that's the sister in, what's that movie? The Banshees of Inisherin.
Oh,
it's a good movie.
Everyone likes
But
that movie. I haven't watched it.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's good. Between good and okay. So Siobhan, she's like this badass, like, Irish revolutionary, super anti-English, maybe tries to kill Lord Billingsburg
in his
multiple
sleep.
times in his sleep.
Yeah.
And like begrudgingly and like super reluctantly, Dunk has to save him multiple times.
Yeah, every single time. And he falls... What if he falls in love with her and she's just completely like, this guy is the fucking worst. He's like, oh, my sweet Irish flower. I will pluck the...
Oh, Lord Billingsburg?
Yeah, but...
Falls in love with her.
Yeah, he's in love with her. And she's just like, this guy's the worst.
Yeah.
And so I say they leave from England. Like, Billingsley has a...
He's got a sailboat.
Yeah, he's got a boat somewhere, you know, on the coast. So they leave from England. They go up to, like, Norway area, right? They sail around most of Europe, and they get up to Norway. And I think that they take, you know, a trip through, like, kind of northern Europe into Russia, because they think, oh, Moscow's going to be the best. Like, Moscow, those Russians are fucking crazy. They're going to be fine. And they get to Moscow,
yeah,
and
they'll think the Russians, because the Russians weren't at the battle, so maybe their army's the most intact, right?
Yeah.
That's what they're thinking.
And then they get there, and it's a whole Stalingrad situation. Like, it's really bad, you know? And so they just kind of have to... And maybe they work their way through Russia, like the whole of Russia. They walk from one side to the other, and they get to, you know...
where they get to, like... Are you talking about, like, down to... the Balkans, kind of? Because I was thinking we could go to, like, Constantinople.
Yeah, we could do Constantinople. I was thinking that they made it to Siberia and then sailed from Siberia, from the, I forget what that sea is called. That's, like, on the, what you call it? Eastern coast of Russia.
It's on the Pacific Ocean?
Yeah. But there's a sea, that they have a sea up there. It's between Japan and Russia. So
you want us to go to Japan?
I was just gonna say we go to America, but they could go to Japan. That would be pretty cool.
That's a long ass trip to go to America.
Yeah, it is a long ass trip.
For like to cross all of Siberia.
Yeah.
I feel like we're missing a lot of Europe too if we just like.
Yeah, you're right. Do
that too.
We could do Constantinople.
Because like
we could do Budapest.
What I want them to stay in Europe so we can get like all these famous characters, kind of, you know? Because like America's not too interesting at this point in history.
Yeah.
I mean, like they get to America, they get to California. That's like, you know, it's not a state yet. It's not.
They find a bunch of gold, but they're like,
there.
they're a bunch of fucking aliens. What are we gonna do with this gold? Billingsley hides the gold, and you know he has to throw it off his side because it's weighing him down when they're climbing up a cliff. You know, that sort of thing. But yeah, you're right.
I'm thinking they get to Russia, right? And they meet a Russian guide who's like sort of like a hunter type of dude. His name's Anton. And Anton, he's their guide leading them south because they're trying to get to. The first they went to Russia thinking it would be better, but it's not. So now they're like, we'll go to the Ottoman Empire because you know they weren't even in this war, so maybe they're doing better.
Yeah, they probably are.
And
doing
so
great.
They're going south towards Istanbul / Constantinople, and this is where Anton gets attacked by the bear and the monster thing, and he dies because he gets the bear
he
kills
gets
him.
ripped in half by a bear because he was an idiot. Maybe we can have Thomas Jefferson maybe Thomas Jefferson signed a peace treaty with the aliens. That could be something.
What?
Thomas Thomas
Threw
Jefferson.
that out of nowhere.
Yeah. That's why there's not really aliens in America, because they signed a peace treaty with Thomas Jefferson. So the Americans and the aliens teamed up. And so they're like, the Americans are...
I don't know about that. It feels weird.
It does feel weird.
Maybe we could have something weird like that happen like later, but I feel like it's too early in the invasion for something as insane as that to
For
happen.
treaties to be signed. For Martin Van Buren to have a treaty signed with the mole people.
So I don't know where this is going, but I think at some point they should... I think it'd be cool to run into Napoleon's warband. He's still kicking, you know? And it's growing, it's like huge now, and he's still like the emperor. And Pierre is just absolutely taken when he meets him.
Yeah.
And he's like, I get to, fuck you guys, I'm gonna rejoin the emperor's, army, because that's, who I am.
Yeah.
And, Napoleon's army, like, maybe we'll be introduced to them because there's like a huge, maybe we have this like Helm's Deep or like Deus Ex Machina moment, right, where our characters are like definitely gonna die, right? There's so many monsters all around them, they're in a big field, like there's nothing they can do, and over the hills, like this cavalry charge comes down, and these cannons are like, maybe they're in a valley, and these cannons get set up and they get blowing the monsters apart.
That would be great.
And Pierre has like this really romantic moment where he turns around and he sees like, the French cavalry and the big French flag, and he sees the emperor, and he's like, oh my god, vive l'empereur.
Yeah.
Like with this really big, like sort of romantic.
And then he lights a cigarette.
Nationalistic moment. Yeah.
My god.
Yeah. Lights a cigar, and then boom. Cavalry wipes out all the things, and he's like, I want to rejoin, but he gets called a coward because he abandoned at the Battle of Waterloo, and he's branded as a traitor, and he can't rejoin. It's like this absolutely devastating blow to him.
They all get like put in chains. Everyone who isn't Pierre gets put in chains. Pierre goes up to Napoleon and like seeks counsel or not counsel. He seeks like an audience.
He's like a member of the old guard, and he's like, I fought with you since Egypt and stuff, and he's like, you abandoned me at Waterloo.
Maybe Napoleon.
See, I didn't abandon you. I got caught in the burning building. You joined the English. You're a spy. He's like, wait, we're still fighting the English? Of course we're still fighting the English. We could be fighting all the monsters in the world, but we still be fighting the English.
Yeah, and then he gets like thrown in chains and shackles again, just next to all the people he had just told to go fuck themselves because he's rejoining the French army.
Yeah.
And maybe Napoleon still has that big long hat that he has in all those historical photos, but now it's got like a human skull on it because it's like a warband. He's no longer, this...
Like an alien skull would probably make more sense. Oh yeah,
maybe a cool alien skull. And then he's got a human skull wrapped, tied around his crotch. And he's like, that was, a famous English general. We'll come up with a famous English general.
Duke Wellington.
That's Duke of Wellington, inventor of the beef Wellington.
No, he's the guy that beat Napoleon at Waterloo.
That makes sense. That makes more sense than the inventor of the beef Wellington.
Yep.
Now let's think of some fun character traits for our main crew: Sally Mae, Billingsley, Duncan, Pierre, and
Billingsley's got plenty of them already.
Yeah, we
already got that down.
Yeah, he sucks. He's great because he's terrible. Maybe Pierre is like a terrible chef, because everyone expects the French they know all about food, and so he talks up all of his chefing capabilities, and then they finally get somewhere that has a kitchen, and he's just god awful. But Duncan is amazing. He's an amazing chef.
Yeah,
but he only makes...
Which obviously makes no sense, because you're like... But he only makes Scottish cuisine, which sucks.
Yeah, he only makes Scottish food, so he makes haggis and black pudding and, all this shit, and everyone's like, ugh, I don't want to eat that. And then they try it, and they're like, this is fantastic.
It's good, but it also sucks.
It's also like, why? Why would you make this into food? But also, wow, it works,
I think they should all sort of fit the caricatures of the country at the time.
Yeah.
Like, Pierre should be really prideful. Like, he thinks, France is better than everyone. He sort of has this us against the world mentality. Dunk has like this very much begrudging helper sort of attitude. Like he doesn't really want to be there, but he's there because he has to be there. You know, Scottish. And,
Yeah.
In
Scottish and
the English army.
Scottish and just life. I think that's a good way to summarize Scottish people in general.
The Irish lady, like she's also like she's similar to Pierre, like very nationalistic, wants to, you know, very prideful, cares about, you know, her history a lot, and hates the English guy. That's most of her personality is wanting to murder this dude and establish a republic and get back to Ireland.
Yeah.
And they're like not going the right way, which she's not happy about, but she's sort of like, you know, she's stuck on this journey because she promised she'd kill the English guy.
Yeah, and so she has to stay with them long enough to where that they all agree that, you know, she could just kill him.
Yeah, I think it'd be funny if really late in the show, like, maybe we should, because you said that the English guy's in love with her, so maybe, I don't know if we should keep that as like a romantic arc going, where like she doesn't like him at first, and we as an audience don't like him at first, but he sort of grows on us over time, you know? Maybe he's like charming, or we have like someone that's charming play him, like Henry Cavill.
We get Henry Cavill.
Somebody that you can't help to like because they're charismatic.
Yeah, but he's, you know, he's still a physical coward, even though he's huge.
But like over time, he will become better. Yeah, right?
Over time
And so what I was thinking where this goes is that when he becomes king, she's still trying to kill him, and he's like, you know what? What? Like I'll give Ireland its freedom. I'm king now. And she's like, wait, really? He's like, yeah.
I don't care. What does Ireland do?
They're done. It's free. They're free.
Yeah.
It's Kingdom of Ireland. It exists now. Republic of Ireland, whatever you want it to be. And she's like, oh my god. And that's the moment where she starts liking him.
Yeah. And then, you know, but he's like, maybe at that point he's over her. He's like, I've tried to give you all the affection I can, and you've just hated me from the second you laid eyes on me. I'm done. You can have your little Ireland. It's free now. Go away. And she's just like kind of, you know, put out by that. Maybe she leaves, you know, and then like an episode or two comes back, you know, Harrison Ford style, which saves the day at the very end by not doing a whole lot, but she was there at the right time.
Yeah.
Classic. Yeah, all right. Well, that was cool. I like that show a lot. I didn't expect it to be so interesting and weird.
I think it's all right.
Yeah. What's the title?
Viva las extraterrestres. Long live the aliens.
I like that. I think just Long Live the Aliens is better than Viva la extraterrestres.
Well, because I was going off like, you know.
Yeah, no, I understand.
You know, long live the emperor.
Yeah.
Long live the aliens.
I get it. I like it though. And then maybe each episode, the song that we play over the credits is a reference to wherever the characters are going next. You know? Because it's a road trip.
Istanbul, the concept.
It's Istanbul, the concept. Yeah, that was kind of...
I don't really know any other ones like that.
Yeah, but there's Russia songs. Maybe we play Rasputin. Or, yeah, that song, Rasputin. Rah, rah, yeah, Rasputin, Russia's greatest love machine. We could play
we could do that.
The Queen is Dead. That's a song, I believe, from the Smiths. You know?
I'm trying to think of other titles. Napoleonic aliens.
Aliens, but it's Napoleon times. That's the name of the show.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I like that. I thought it was fun. That was good. Thank you, everyone, for listening to the Very Reasonable Pilots podcast. I've been your host, Charles Long. With me, as always, been my co-host, editor, producer, co-pilot, gunner, navigator, podcasting associate, and how are you doing today, Jacob?
How about you just shut up and end the podcast?
Jacob Gloth, everyone. Have a good day. If you like what you heard here and you want to hear more, please give us a like, a follow, subscribe. Please tell your friends, your family, your dog, your cat. And remember, we'll be here next week. Jake will have a show for you. I'll have a show the week after. It'll be a whole thing. You know? We're gonna record on a Monday next week. I promise.
Yeah. Charlie had the bright idea to postpone like 8 times for this recording.
Yeah,
so.
Charlie's not great.
If he's dead next week, that's because he postponed again.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Katie has orders to put a bullet in my brain.
Yeah, well, she won't need them because I'll do it.
Okay, good. Goodbye, everyone.
Fly out there, blow your brains out.
Yeah, I know.